Hello there, this is Brian, and I just want to give you a quick heads up before you listen to this special bonus episode. This was my first ever remote recording, and somewhere along the way I screwed up on a bit of the audio, so our special guest has a bit of an echo behind him. I did everything I could to get rid of it, and unfortunately it's there because I'm a rude host. But it's not too terribly distracting. I just wanted to give you a heads up and let you know that there was nothing wrong with your speakers.
This is the Pink Milk Show, featuring Michael of I'm Right, You're Wrong podcast.
Hello there. Welcome to Pink Milk, your Star Wars podcast for us superfans and those of us forced to listen to them. That was my Tom impression. He unfortunately is not here. Why do you ask? Well, he's still sleeping. Why? Well, because of this here episode you're about to listen to. Someday this week, we were very lucky to sit with 1/3 of one of my favorite podcasts, I'm Right, You're Wrong. Tom was forced to listen to two super fans go deep, deep, deep into the Star Wars weeds. I enjoyed my conversation with Michael Serrano of the I'm Right, You're Wrong podcast, and Tom was a super champ, made it for about an hour and a half in. It's a long episode, so if you are not a super fan, if you are one of the ones forced to listen, we won't be offended if you don't make it all the way through. We go deep. We talk about the Rise of Skywalker, the saga as a whole, The Mandalorian, and the sequel trilogy. So if you are a super fan, there's a lot here to drink up. Ready. All right. Well, hello there.
Hello there.
I am Brian. With me, as always, is my husband and better host, Tom.
Hello, hello.
And we have a special guest today, Michael Serrano from the I'm Right, You're Wrong podcast. Hello, Michael.
Hello, guys.
We are very excited to have you on here because I know from your show that you are a Star Wars fan as well.
Yeah, big fan.
So Tom's getting the double shot today.
Double shot. Double shot. Although I'm going to be very curious to find out your take on who's right and who's wrong at the end of the podcast today.
Oh, awesome. I love this stuff.
It'll be easy to know which one.
Me.
Are you a Mandalorian person? Are you enjoying The Mandalorian?
Yeah, I love the show. Before the show, I've always been not really into the Mandalore lore.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. They were cool, but I was never. I agree. I was never the Boba stan.
Nah, he's always looked cool, but you got to do a little bit more for me in Star Wars than look cool. That's just me.
Mm-hmm. So, I think it was the third episode. Yeah, I think it was the third episode where we see the Mandalorian as a little kid.
Yeah.
And he goes in the bunker.
See those super.
So just to give you
droids?
Tom's perspective, he thinks that's Captain Phasma.
That's awesome.
Sorry about it. That's my exposure. The good news is I could remember Captain Phasma's name from one other movie, whatever one that was. No, two. I've seen it in two movies.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And according to J.J. Abrams, that was
And
the
a
worst thing
neighbor.
that they did in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty awesome.
But
though.
yeah, so actually, let's just jump right in. Where in the fandom do you fall? When were you introduced? Both Tom and I are both original trilogy guys.
Yeah.
I think from your show, you're a prequel guy.
Yeah.
That's when you came in.
Yeah, so with me with Star Wars, I'm 30. So I tell people that the best year for movies in general is 1999. And but I had watched the original trilogy on VHS with my parents and older siblings. But it really was, I was 10 when Phantom Menace came out, and I saw it in the theaters that summer a couple of times. So yeah, Phantom Menace was really what made me love the franchise more than just like this is something that my parents watched and my siblings watched. If that made sense.
Okay. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I remember my Phantom Menace memory more is like it was the last time I sat in line I think I was in line for 12 hours.
Oh, nice.
And that doesn't happen anymore.
No.
But,
Because Brian buys everything ahead of time.
I don't know.
I'm not waiting in no line. I'm going to buy that ticket ahead of time. Was it 2 months now? Just about 2 months? Was it October that you bought your tickets?
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. And we were lucky. It was easy for us. Apparently, it was a hard thing to get tickets. A lot of people had a hard time.
Yeah, I had to wait for about 20 minutes for my Fandango to actually work.
20 minutes?
Yeah, I kept on having to reload it and add them, and then every time I'd get to checkout, it'd like fail again. It was very frustrating.
Yeah, we went straight through like our local theater.
Oh, nice.
And I don't know, I bought them at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is a video game, Tom.
Oh,
I'm pulling up Star Wars Wikipedia just in case we have things with Jack Porkins. That's how I want to see it. But anyways.
Yeah, as far as like standing in line for Star Wars, I remember I started buying DVDs when I was a kid. As soon as I could, I started buying them. But there's a documentary called Starweight that I loved when I was a teenager. Yeah, it's just dedicated to the line outside of Grauman's Chinese Theater, and that's it.
Oh, yes. I've seen that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when I was younger, we called it the Dark Times. I'm sure you've heard of it if you're a Star Wars fan. It was like after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Long before, like there was nothing.
Yeah.
But there was this old school theater here in Phoenix, Arizona. It was like one of those old school like single theater things. It was called Cine Capri, which I think we talked about on the podcast before, Tom. But every summer they used to play the 3 originals back to back.
Nice.
And it was like those were the wait overnight. It was so much fun. I miss that culture. I mean, probably not now as a father of 3. I don't think I would be doing that.
I wouldn't even let my kids out doing it.
So, you're married, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Are you here in Phoenix?
No, I'm in California.
Oh, okay, cool.
we're in Tatooine. He's on Jakku.
Oh, okay. How's the weather?
Rainy, so.
Oh, that means it's coming our way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope so. So, part of our show here is Pink Milk is for super fans and those forced to listen.
That would be me.
That's Tom. So, is she forced to listen?
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, she kind of is. I kind of keep a lot of things to myself as far as like fandom goes. I don't let it bleed over too much, if that makes sense. Like, the things, my wife and I, we've been married for almost 10 years now. And
Oh, awesome. Congrats.
yeah, thanks. She says over the years, as I let more and more of myself out, she jokingly says that if she had known this in the beginning, she's not sure where we'd be. Because a lot of it, I mean, like, as far as pop culture goes, like, I'm really into anime too and manga. So
Okay.
that was not explicit to her when we first got together. So, yeah. So, but
Wait, I forgot. Are you one of the super? You and Pokey are Dragon Ball, and Sean is not.
yeah, Sean, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
It's taken
That's
me,
right.
let me just put it this way. It's taken me, I've known Sean for like 15 years now. It's taken me 15 years or so to get him to admit the prequels aren't that bad. So I've got a little bit of ways to go towards Dragon Ball as well.
The prequels are great.
Yeah.
Well,
They were important.
Tom's like, were they
I don't know that
good?
I'd say they were great.
Oh, they're fantastic.
They were important. If you look at the whole body of work, they were important to explain
No,
what's going on.
they were great.
Just even individually.
Misunderstood
Yeah.
by pop culture. That's my feeling.
Those of us forced to listen.
Maybe. So you kept it because poor Tom, it was like second or third date.
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't even we have a long story, but basically he didn't like me for a while. And he asked me to say something that would pique his interest so he could see if he could talk to me, which sounds really arrogant. He's a very nice person, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
And so I said at the time, I live my life based on the 3 S's. No, not those 3 S's. But South Park, Sex in the City, and Star Wars.
Oh,
Star Wars
nice.
obviously being the most important. So like the dude knew straight away like I was a
Crazy.
bit of a whack job.
Yeah.
That's all right. 12 years later.
Yeah.
That's
Catching
awesome.
on.
So was Star Wars always for you your franchise? Like that's what you love
Oh,
the
yeah.
most?
Yet me? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Forever. I don't know a world without it. It's always been like everything. I love y'all's show,
Mhm.
and I work in like a record store retail thing, and we have lots of pop culture stuff. So I work with a lot of people
Yeah.
that seem to know a little bit about everything,
Right. Yeah.
and I am not that person. I know a lot of bit about a little.
That's awesome.
Like I just I can't get into Star Trek because I'm dumb, and you can't like both.
stand
That's
Star
impossible.
Trek. Yeah.
What's
I
that?
agree. I said I can't stand Star Trek.
Yeah, it's awful.
It's annoying.
Can't get into Harry Potter because magic wands are stupid. Because who needs a wand when you just have a hand and
The
a laser sword?
lightsaber's okay.
Now,
All of this is completely
In
dumb.
multiple colors, no less.
Yeah,
that's funny.
yeah.
Harry Potter is my wife's franchise, so she
Okay.
ride or dies for that franchise. But she's a closeted, I read Harry Potter fanfic nerd. But
Oh, seriously?
yeah,
So she wasn't able to get into the Raylo fanfic
no,
world?
she just it's just Harry Potter. That's really it for her. She can care less about everything else.
Well, like, because Tom, I don't think we have lots of conversations. He's not like in fandom anywhere.
No.
Anywhere, no spectrum.
No.
Nowhere.
If Real Housewives had a fandom, maybe that would be the one you would join in on.
Depends on the season.
That's funny. So if they had a
But
Real
yes, like it's
Housewives
such a
convention,
foreign thing for him.
that's
Like the
funny.
idea of we were on our last episode, we were talking about like I don't know if you're like me, but these characters, I think the characters is more of a real person than the actors who play them half the time, and I constantly imagine their life that we didn't see on screen. And Tom's like, I feel like you asked this question a lot on the show. Wait, did we ever see that? Wait, was that in the movie? I'm like, no.
It's true. I've seen all of these things so many times, and yet it just goes in one ear and out the other. I mean, I'll remember when you've told me again about it. There's a few things it just goes in and out. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You've never
And I
teared
like
up?
it all. I can't say I don't like it.
Have you ever gotten emotional?
No.
No, never.
Do you mean for these made up movies?
Of course.
For the made up movies?
Yeah.
No.
You don't shed a tear, just a little one?
Not for the stories. Nope. Hey, you know what? But it's too soon. This time next week, I might. Maybe I'll even fake it.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember once I went and saw Attack of the Clones. It was the only time I've ever seen a Star Wars movie like with a group of people. And when you go with enough people, you're not really. Well, for me, anyways, I should say I wasn't with people like me,
Yeah.
and it was not the right way to go. 'Cause I'm a blubbering fool. I can't it is what it is. I've already everyone I work with is very well aware that Thursday I will get zero work done, and Friday I will probably be an emotional basket case who's not gonna be able to work for half the day.
And can you imagine if Thursday night the movie doesn't go well?
Ooh.
How difficult Friday will be
Yeah.
for us.
So yeah, so you and I have chit chatted a little bit. You don't know. You've only seen the first teaser.
That's it. I've heard a little bit of breaking down on a couple of podcasts, some other trailers, but yeah, it's about
Okay. I saw my last minute and a half clip on Friday,
it. Oof.
and I'm glad I didn't say I'm done because I saw something I didn't want to see. I was like, it was the perfect level of like hype. And I'm like, okay, I can't get any more excited. And this is the perfect place to stop. So I'm just like, I'm off social media until Thursday.
That's awesome.
So we'll see. So you're a prequel guy.
Mm-hmm.
Are they your favorite?
It's
Like-
Revenge of the Sith is my second favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's
So-
your first favorite?
Return. Yeah, it's
Return of the Jedi?
it's my favorite movie. Of Star
Boom.
Wars. Yes.
Boom. Because that's where it's at.
It really is. The culmination of that movie is pretty crazy. I don't know why people give it so much shit, but it gives me everything that I need out of a single Star Wars movie in just that one.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
It is the most... I really like Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, it's great.
Attack of the Clones might be my favorite of the prequels, which I think we just talked about this in our last episode, Tom, too. Like, I've never felt like I've ever had... Return of the Jedi is my favorite. I think a lot of that is also like... It's the first movie I remember seeing.
Mm-hmm.
I was 4. I don't remember all of it, but I remember a couple scenes like very clearly in the movie theater.
Yeah.
But those were the toys I grew up with most. You know, I had hand-me-downs from my older brother, but Return of the Jedi was when I was at the store buying everything, and so it's 100% nostalgia that makes it my favorite. But until I had a podcast, I don't think I've ever like ranked them. But all of a sudden, I feel like I have to rank now. Tom's getting his little golden books before he starts getting
my little
confused.
golden book before somebody asks me a question. I refer to them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Soon to be 9.
And if you hear Tatooine, oh, how do you say it?
Tatooine.
Oh, you got it. Good.
Yeah, I've been schooled by my 8-year-old. I'm in 6 and the 7-year-old.
Yeah.
No, how old are these kids? 5 and
5.
6.
Uh-huh.
There's too many. I don't know.
But yeah, I think I like Attack of the Clones for the same reason I like Return of the Jedi, and they feel the most serialized. Like, they're straight up adventures.
Yeah.
And it's like one action to the next, to the next, to the next. And I am forever and always a huge lover of the Ewoks.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I think in listening to people, and I will just say people my age, I'm 40 and Tom's, 35.
30 also.
Like, I remember when the prequels came out. Okay, you're going to know this more than I do off the top of your head. The Matrix came out in 98?
99.
99.
It was
Okay.
a big summer for me.
Same year. Okay. So did Matrix come out first?
No, Star Wars or Phantom Menace did.
Okay. I remember people being ticked off that Star Wars wasn't the Matrix.
Really?
Like, yes, that is like, I'm when it comes to Star Wars, I can be pretty critical of most things. I think I'm actually very picky because I feel like Star Wars is my favorite thing in the world and they're absolute perfection. So everything is going to fail in comparison to them.
yeah.
But I remember sitting in the Phantom Menace, and to this day, the first 10 minutes of that movie are kind of rough. It's a little slow, and I remember just being like, huh. Because that trailer for episode 1 is one of the greatest trailers
Yeah, for
ever.
sure.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And it just took a minute. It's very different, and the prequels in general are they're very different, and it's very intentional as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But I know it took a minute, and I still think the first 10 minutes of that flick are a little it's a little boring.
They're
But
fine.
then it gets going, and it's fantastic, and I really love it.
Yeah.
But I remember that being the thing that people hated about it. The Jedi weren't strong enough. They were supposed to be able to do everything, and they wanted, them to put on sunglasses and fly
Yeah.
on the last shot.
That's interesting. Was it a lot of it having to do with the action?
I don't think people thought that they were leveled up enough. That people then, and it's different now, but I was in 99, I was 20 years old. So I was like, an adult by then. And I remember specifically people being upset that the raddest part of the movie was the pod race scene. That it should have been lightsabers. And
it was lightsabers. What are you talking about?
yeah, and it's a great lightsaber fight.
Yeah.
So, which everybody loves that. But now that I'm a father of kids closer to Anakin's age, even some of the Anakin stuff that annoyed me is pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's awesome.
If I had to do it myself, would I make him a 10-year-old kid? I'm not sure I would.
Oh, interesting.
Like, it was a big...
Especially when what's her name is going after him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
It's not- it's fine.
Star Wars is like, but I think, and I remember it started back then because people my age were 4, 5, 6 when the originals were out, and now they're seeing them in their 20s, and they wanted them to grow up with them.
Yeah.
Which is not Star Wars. That's not what it's about.
Right.
And Star Wars is not about how it works. It's about how it makes you feel. For me. Mm-hmm. And so it's always been that way. And I don't ever get hung up on, when we'll get into it here in a minute when we get to the sequels, but I feel like people are judging the sequel trilogy like it's a video game. And I'm not a huge gamer necessarily, so I don't necessarily totally understand the point of view. But you hear about leveling up and they should have this and they should have that. I'm like, but it's not really about that.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting in the concept and within Phantom Menace because you get that quick shot of them, Force running real quick. Mm-hmm. It's like that's a pretty big level up compared to what we saw in Jedi.
Yes, 1,000%. You see Obi-Wan Kenobi pull himself up by his fingers and fly up 50 feet. So I'm like, I don't know what you want.
Yeah, that's funny.
To this day, I get upset when I hear people. And it's only Star Wars fans we are a very picky lot. And some of it doesn't make sense to me. Some of it I understand for the feels factor. But the prequels are still slammed a lot for their computer generated effects.
Yeah.
Which it was mostly marketing. Mm-hmm. There was a lot, but we wouldn't have Marvel movies now if the prequels never came out.
No, we wouldn't have a lot of movies. I mean, he
yeah,
pioneered so much for Phantom Menace.
Exactly. So you can't. Yeah. Anyways, but I think about how people still complain about, I don't know, the way the folds move on Boss Nass's cloak. They still bitch.
Yeah.
But everyone wants the unaltered original trilogy where there's a Vaseline blob underneath Luke's X-Wing. And that doesn't bother anybody.
Yeah, right.
But God forbid a CG character's cloak is wrong.
Yeah.
And it really came to hyper focus for me on the first episode of The Mandalorian when I was reading on Twitter a bunch of people complaining about the blurgs, which we had damn blurgs in the thing. It was really rad.
Yeah.
That they looked fake. But then in the same tweet, it was praising the Salacious Crumb, the monkey lizard.
Right. Yeah.
That would full on look like a Muppet.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't. I don't understand it at all.
That's the thing that really bothers me about when people talk about Phantom Menace and the way it looks. They really don't spend any time talking about how many practical effects and how many practical sets he used. Like they only focus on the Gungans look awful. That's
yes. But in defense of those people, that's how it was marketed.
Yeah.
So that's what was on the forefront of pushing it. And that's what's interesting right now with the sequel trilogy. I think there's some very interesting marketing things going on that are not serving it very well. But I want to get into that when Tom will make fun of me because I'll put a pin in it, and I like my pins on my podcast.
A lot of pins.
So, Return of the Jedi is your favorite.
Yeah.
Revenge is your second favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite character?
It's gonna have to go with Anakin.
Okay.
Yeah. He just
That speaks to your age for sure, which is awesome.
yeah, I really relate to him.
Okay. Like, yeah, how so?
I don't know, just like the angsty teen when I was an angsty teen. Like I get it, man. I was there. I mean, the end of Revenge of the Sith, not the very end, but the fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin, it still makes me tear up every time because of what that character could become. Had so much hopes for him, but you kind of knew where he was going, of course. And then, I mean, I wouldn't say that Anakin and Darth Vader are together as a character for me. I would just say
Okay.
Anakin in particular. And a lot of that came from Clone Wars stuff as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a massive. When I think of actually Anakin and Obi-Wan, I think I go to the cartoon
Yeah.
first. Like if I hear Anakin in my head, I hear Matt Lanter.
Yeah, for sure.
That's that's because I like that you don't have them together, because I'm of the belief that Obi-Wan didn't lie, and they are two different people.
Yeah.
I think some of that stuff in Rebels in particular really highlighted that really, really well.
Yeah.
And I think like Ahsoka Tano is probably my favorite Star Wars character.
Oh, nice.
Well, Max Rebo is my favorite and will always be my favorite. But
That's awesome.
realistic favorite is probably Ahsoka.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, of course, like everybody, I looked up to Luke Skywalker. As I've gotten older, I think I probably have a very unpopular opinion of Luke.
Ooh, I'm right there with you.
I think he's an amazing character, and I like him a lot. Like The Last Jedi didn't throw me off at all. I felt very accurate. But now that I'm an adult, Luke is really weak, and that's how he got there. And he had one heroic action, and it was the most important time to have a heroic action. And now when I watch the original trilogy as a 40-year-old and as a father, so I think this last, Jack didn't come into our lives until 3 years ago. So I, a relatively new father, but it completely reshaped how I watch all the movies. And Luke was weak out of fear. His father was weak out of anger.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Ahsoka Tano sits in between, and I get very emotional every time when I think about the season finale of season 5, which is how, for me, the Clone Wars will always end. I know we're getting another season.
Yeah.
But when she walks away and there's no music and it's just the sunset, it's like, and knowing everything from where that character came from, she could have very easily went down either path that our two main heroes at the time had taken.
Right.
And she's the only one who chose her own path. And I think that, for me, is what the entire point of Star Wars is all about. And that's one of the things I'm really excited for the sequel trilogy, because I feel the sequel trilogy is giving me the Star Wars that I have felt has always been there. The Jedi are equally as evil as the Sith. Unintentionally evil.
Right.
And so maybe evil is the wrong word, because they're not trying to be.
Yeah, I think they're
They just
playing
think their
with
way's
things
the
that
right
they
way.
don't understand fully. I think
There's what?
Oh, I was saying
Say that one more time.
I think that they're playing with things that they fully don't understand.
Mhm.
I think that that's part of the problem with the Jedi is they think that they understand everything, and they're playing with things that they really know very little about.
100%. Their arrogance.
Yeah.
1,000%. I say they're not evil, but actually what they did to Ahsoka Tano was straight up wrong.
Yeah.
They knew she was innocent, and they were protecting their own skins of, no, we've got to look good. And it was just completely messed up. And then, like, Lord knows what we're going to see. But anyways, I think she's my favorite. But I do think, as I've gotten older, my opinion of Luke is probably not very popular, because I don't think he's the hero that we've always believed him to be.
Agreed.
When I really, he's pushed in every direction. He doesn't really have a lot of agency.
Well, and he also makes the wrong decision most of the time too. So
Yeah. Until the final moment.
yeah,
And I'm not even sure if that was like
exactly.
fully intentional. Yeah. Awesome. So, what are your thoughts on the sequel trilogy? Because I've listened. You guys haven't had a full show just on Star Wars yet, right?
No, I refuse to.
Okay. Okay.
Tell me more.
Yeah. Why?
Because I don't want to deal with those two. Really, that's what it comes down to.
You'll be the lone Jedi facing off against two Sith? Is that how it's going to go?
No, it just turns into me ranting, and so, and then them trying to irritate me more and more. So,
okay. Well, from the little bit that y'all do talk about it, because it does come up enough.
yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure your full stance on the sequel trilogy.
So I've got like a weird opinion about Star Wars in general. I try to enjoy what we have instead of being critical of what we could have had. And with the sequel trilogy in particular, I'm really into, especially when Bob Iger's book came out and understanding more of the timeline of the Lucasfilm buyout. I'm really into understanding why Kathleen Kennedy was the wrong person for this job and why she really has steered the ship poorly, and how I think we're going to be getting on a right track. And I've got a lot of theories that line up with Feige, Favreau, and Filoni, coming into play. But I think a lot of the burden comes on to Kathleen Kennedy, and I think that she's the wrong person for me to steer this sequel trilogy and or the sequel era of Star Wars in general. And I love every Star Wars movie, man. That's
Well, I can get a word in because I'm not sure if you've listened to all the episodes necessarily, but KK and I have a personal relationship.
A love-hate one, no less.
No, but she does call me fairly often just to check on release times for The Mandalorian, and
He believes she overuses the shoulder pad.
she does overuse the shoulder pad and
Nice
her
call.
sports jackets. I am curious when George picked her, so there's got to be a reason why he did.
Yeah, but he
And
picked her
I'm
as
wondering
a
if
pawn.
Yeah, when that stuff came out, I haven't, I know the book through podcasts and YouTube reviews and all those conversations. But I almost feel like I can't say she's wrong for the job of running the company and being the producer.
Well,
However,
she's more than the producer.
yeah, well, however, she shouldn't be in charge of the creative.
Yes.
So I can't help but feel like there was a plan of you run this part, you run the business, and you give the creative to Filoni. And maybe Disney said no.
Oh, that's an interesting theory. I always figured that Papa Lucas was just going to be pulling the strings from back, but
I don't know.
yeah,
he had no problems ever stepping away.
yeah, but I think he was okay
now
with stepping away mostly for the intention that he was still going to be a part of it in some way.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of the pawn that he was using Kathleen Kennedy as.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that Filoni still, they're barely giving him respect at this point, and it took Jon Favreau coming into play to be like, "Hey, man, come on to this TV show."
Well, I, as a massive Dave Filoni fan, I think my personal opinion is Filoni elevated what George Lucas did, and Dave Filoni, I think, made Star Wars better.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I love me some George Lucas. The dude's my hero, but Dave Filoni is just took someone's vision and articulated it in a way that the creator had never been able to articulate it before.
Yeah.
And it's what he does is amazing. I feel that Dave Filoni is a much bigger part of The Mandalorian than what we think he is.
Yeah, I would
Just
agree.
by observing it as a watcher and knowing how Dave Filoni works, it feels like a Dave Filoni series.
Oh yeah, for
Every
sure.
single episode. And I think Favreau is the man because he's got the name and the cachet to carry it. But I think behind the scenes, Filoni's got a lot more power over there.
Yeah, especially probably mostly on the writing and editing side, because he did say that like he's still unfamiliar with directing real people. Like he had some weird quote about how like the production was shutting down because the daylight was going out. And he was like,
yeah,
why?
that was interesting.
Yeah.
I think, are you caught up on The Mandalorian?
Oh yeah, I told Sean today maybe the biggest fan service I've ever seen for myself in Star Wars.
Was Chapter 6?
Yes.
Okay.
So your favorite one was the one that just came out today?
No, I'm saying it's the biggest piece of fan service that I've seen that I love. The end of that episode is just like I didn't think that would ever happen, and I'm very happy that it happened.
What happened? Which part are you referring to? We're
I'm
in spoilers. This isn't going to launch until after we do our thing for the show anyways.
okay, cool. Yeah, I'm referring to just Filoni showing up.
Okay.
It's cool that Rick and I always forget her name.
And Deborah Chow?
Yeah, but just seeing like as soon as you see him, you're like, what the?
Dude, I was so excited.
Yeah, I was not expecting that at all.
No. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I don't know how I feel about this episode yet. I've seen it
Ooh.
twice.
Nice.
I was talking to somebody at work this morning. They were cracking up. They're like, I don't think I'd ever hear you be critical of Star Wars.
That's how I feel towards Chapter 5.
Oh, I love Chapter 5. It might be my favorite. Or
That's
you're
so
saying
funny.
it's your least favorite.
It's my only one that I'm critical of the plot so far.
Oh, okay. Oh, I love Chapter 5.
Yeah.
Who do you think's at the end of Chapter 5? And then we're off topic, but we're gonna get back real quick. But I wanna know. Because we assumed we were gonna see who it was today.
Yeah, right?
Actually, I have a question.
Okay. Wait, hang on.
Okay, you do you.
Yeah. Who do you think's at the end?
I do think it's very straightforward, and I think it's Moff Gideon.
Who?
Okay.
Yeah.
Who?
That character we haven't seen yet.
Oh, okay. What do you think the name of Baby Yoda is?
Like, for that, referring that character?
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's cool because it harkens back to, episode 4 with the cantina. I mean, eventually we got one of the characters in this latest episode, but I mean, you just had like Devilman, So it's cool that there's a character that doesn't have like a name to it, and so like the culture just kind of like picks it up and is just like, yeah, it's Baby Yoda. Before like
You can try to
defining
put the child
species.
on us, but it ain't the child.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still like, it's still Snaggletooth and still Hammerhead
Yeah.
and still Walrus Man. It will just Squidhead. That's who it'll always be for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been fortunate enough to sit in one of the cantina panels with man, I can't remember the dude's name right now.
The prop guy.
Yeah. I was at
Is it Rick something?
one of the conventions I was at. I was sitting in at one of the panels, and it's super cool. I loved hearing him talk about that whole scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's been on Rebel Force Radio a fair amount
Yeah.
talking about it. Yeah, it is really, yeah. But I thought that Chapter 5, especially, what was his name? Toro
Mm-hmm.
Carvanali or whatever, felt very Ezra Bridger to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that was where I felt I could tell that Dave Filoni was a voice actor and not a live action, or a voice director, not a live action director.
Agreed.
Because I think that guy got kind of slammed for his acting,
Yeah.
at least on the interwebs. But he felt like an animated character.
Yeah.
His voice was overdone, which you have to do, obviously, when you're working in animation. It was just, he felt like an animated character, which is why I think he kind of didn't feel right
Yeah.
for me.
The whole episode is the most I felt an animated episode as one of these episodes. If that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
For sure. But maybe that's why, I don't know. I felt that there was a lot of undertones in that episode that I really liked. It was the most surface level, just pew pew, almost doesn't matter,
Yeah.
but you peel like one layer back, and it starts to really give you some really good juice.
Yeah.
Which is what I think I liked that so much about it. But okay, we are completely off topic. Sequel trilogy. You're left unsure how you feel? Is that what
Well,
you're getting at?
I love all Star Wars movies. I'll always
Okay.
say that. I mean, it's what I tell people, especially after Last Jedi, when they have a lot of complaints. I tell them that, oh, well, were you ever into the whole canon that happened in Star Wars through the 90s and the 2000s? And they're like, no. And I was like, okay, well, we got a lot of different stories of Luke, and I'm used to comic books. That's like my big passion. Okay. So seeing Last Jedi is just another person's interpretation of this character that I've seen a couple of other times. So it's not like the end of the world to me. So they've done stuff that I obviously wouldn't do. But, you know, it's what we have, and I love it.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a tough question. I'm going to go to the negative first. We can end it on positive with this. What's your least favorite thing they've done?
Finn as a character.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Never liked it.
And most favorite?
Rey's theme.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think it's one of John Williams' best. I mean, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's almost as good as Max Rebo's tunes when they're on the sail barge, not the Loptinik. And Lord knows, definitely not Jedi Rock, which wasn't even John Williams anyways, right?
Yeah.
Was either one of them? Was Loptinik John Williams?
His son was involved with, I want to say Jedi Rocks. Because he played in Toto maybe for a brief period of time.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing that. Yeah. I'm all about do whatever. It's George Lucas's thing. He can do what he wants, but that's just something I really can't get past.
You draw the line.
I
at
don't
Jedi
mind the
Rocks?
additional characters. I'm
love
fine
that
with the
scene.
CG size noodles. I'm fine with oh god, what's his name, like Rodotan or whatever, the shell turtle. I'm fine. You should have just kept Loptinek. Just use the same song, and I would have been fine with everything else. That other thing is, I can't.
I love it.
Can't do it. But my single favorite shot of all of Star Wars, and it is so dumb, but it makes me so incredibly happy, is right when Bausch lets the thermal detonator, turns it off, and Max Rebo's sitting there, paused out of fear. And he does the coolest like hand thing. He just starts playing again. It is the pause and the wrist turn is it is so dumb, but it is my favorite shot in all of Star Wars.
That's funny.
I have no idea why, but it is like one of the first things. If it probably is the very first thing I think of when I think of a Star Wars shot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. So I think for me, the thing that the sequel trilogy. Actually, wait, hang on, Tom. You,
Yes, sir.
I want you.
I'm here. I'm still here. Yes.
It's very late for Tom. We're usually in bed.
Oh, Lord.
Hour and a half ago.
Happy someday fun day.
What do you think of the sequel trilogy so far, Pop?
They're good. Hey, I think they've been fine. I mean, I love Kylo Ren, so he's my favorite character. So
Yeah.
he wouldn't be here without these. Yeah. So there you go.
You want to talk about again what you? No, we'll do that later when we talk about our predictions. So I think that's funny you don't like Finn, as I have a hard time not picking him as my favorite character from TFA.
Yeah, I mean, like, he is just loved for someone who is really a traitor and has killed most of his kind. So, I mean, he's cool to a lot of people, though. I'm just like, this guy's awful.
If you're fine with people killing people that they shouldn't be killing, I guess you can like them.
Yeah, I mean, like, he just, like, turns his back so quickly on anyone, but is, like, somehow people, like, he's not charismatic in the way, like, Han is. So that's just where, like, I just don't get it.
Okay.
No.
Well, I can dish in that here in a second for my take on it, which is, I think overall, Well, let me get out my least favorite thing of the sequel trilogy, and that is the marketing. Because I think the marketing is failing these things so bad. It's so like the first one, it's all practical effects. That's how they marketed it because they had prequelitis at the beginning.
Yeah.
For sure. And then right before The Last Jedi, their big marketing push was, we just really wanted to go rogue, which I appreciated that because George Lucas is a middle finger up to everybody kind of person. So I kind of like that spirit.
Yeah.
But their whole thing was there's no script. No one knew what they were doing. So all it did was give fuel to everyone who didn't like things they saw to say, well, if they had a plan.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way they had no plan. What they may have done is, here's our treatments for the arc. You figure out how to get to these points, which is great creatively,
Can
But
I ask a question about that then?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel about Rian Johnson having more say over things than JJ?
You think he did?
That's the big theory that people like to throw out there, is that JJ had certain things edited for Force Awakens, and then Ryan made his script. Kathleen loved it, and so those were the big changes that they made to Force Awakens. Was based off of Rian Johnson's script.
So the only change that I know of, here's Tom. He's like, oh God, getting too far in the weeds for Tom over here. Was he had BB-8 instead of R2, leave with Rey to Octu.
Well, there's the handing off of the lightsaber, right?
Yeah. What else was different? And something about boulders floating and
there's the Leia scene. Luke had more of an impact. It wasn't that it was weighted till the last 30 seconds.
Okay.
There was more footage. There's more footage shot with Leia, which is why we have that with Rise of Skywalker. They changed a pretty big portion of how that movie ends to fit in of it taking place directly after with Last Jedi.
Okay. Huh. I don't know. I don't think I knew that stuff. Because that's weird. I don't know if I love that it starts right afterwards. And I was like, okay.
Well, I just have a hard time believing that Rian Johnson has more sway over things than JJ does.
The only thing I could think of is if he was super easy to work with.
I guess so. That's what they keep on saying. But I mean,
Nice people get more.
Yeah, I guess so.
And not that JJ seems like a very nice guy too, but I've also heard on the arguments of, he didn't want to work with Lucasfilm and it was all Bad Robot this, and he worked in his own studio, and
right.
We don't really know if any of this is true. But if that is true, I can see how you're not going to really get the results from people that you may want.
Yeah.
You can't show up when you want something and then when you don't need anything, not say anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not there. So I just try to judge the movies by what we got.
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff's interesting to go down to, but I try to pull myself back out of it, especially in today's Twitter land of like, you can post any article you want to make any argument you want. People, it's an interesting landscape. And I'm not real good on Twitter, and I've never been much on it until like I started the podcast. And I'm like, okay, I got to start doing something. And I'm still quite honestly learning how to navigate through all of it. But, but I think the marketing is giving too much fuel to see fault. And George Lucas clearly never had a big idea. He had the big idea, but the details were clearly not filled in. And he gets a free pass, and he's the creator, so of course he gets the free pass. But these are the creators now. I don't know if I subscribe to the idea that they're all fan films now because they're not his. Like, well, they own it now. So not really.
I mean, the question is, and to me, they're very afraid to do a lot of things.
Okay.
So,
Huh. Okay. So, I think my favorite thing that they are doing so far is, and maybe I'm, oh no, I don't know. How I watch these movies actually is that they, for me, are really, they're so real world and wrote it into the story of realizing that they can never live up to what came before. Our heroes can never live up to the heroes that came before them. These movies can never live up to the movies that came before them. So they pay them respect, but they have to pave their own way. And that they have to be okay with the fact that they're their own thing. Now, I like that about it a lot. Like, love it. I do find it difficult to have that love and appreciation for something when they're built as 7, 8, and 9. So this is where the Rise of Skywalker's really got to come through and really actually tie it all together. Because right now they are. It seems like the next book, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like it's in the same book, but it could be brought into the same book. Just because the same characters are there doesn't. But another thing, I mean, that's my overall favorite of, like, when Rey says, I thought he was a myth. And she's living under this legacy of what could be. And then she meets it, and it's not what she thought it was going to be, because the Luke Skywalker we thought we all knew isn't really who he was.
Mm-hmm.
And when you rewatch the movies, he's not really who we thought he was as a kid, which I find it so, like, I really get into that. And I also, and this might be only because of our kids, but Tom and I have adopted 3 kids through the foster system, so they all have come with histories and have had a lot of struggle in their lives in the very young life that they've lived before they came here. And I look at Rey and Finn as 2 kids who lived through trauma. And we've had to live with it in our lives every single day. And I see 2 characters who dealt with very similar pasts and dealing with them in very different ways, which I think is very honest. Whereas Rey is a bit of a fighter, and she's had to be. And it's so funny because a lot of the people who were complaining about the Jedi not being powerful enough back in the prequel days are now complaining that she's too powerful, even though she's the flipping Jedi that everyone wanted. The woman, like, jumps over a TIE fighter, and now we're upset that she's jumping over a TIE fighter because they can't do that, even though 15 years ago that's what you wanted, or 20 years ago. Cracks me up. But I think that's why she's so powerful, is because she's never been afforded the luxury of having doubt. And there's no Jedi telling her what she can and can't do. There's no Sith telling her what she can and can't do. She's only had to rely on herself. And it's literally what Yoda says. Do or do not. And so she just does. And that, to me, is why she's so incredibly powerful. I don't need any more explanation than she has ultimate confidence. And she's had to have that confidence because she was dropped off in the middle of nowhere as a young child and then pretty much raised as a slave. And so she had to take care of herself. And she never let it eat her up. She was going to be stronger in spite of it. Where we have Finn, who's the polar opposite, who had a very similar upbringing to her. He was kidnapped as a baby and forced into becoming a stormtrooper and all the things that the First Order did to him. But he doesn't have the same strength she does. And the trauma he went through as a child made him never trust anyone until he met Rey, because Rey's the first person to see him as something other than what he was told to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why he holds on to her so tight. I've never once for a second really gotten
any sort of romantic connection. Sure, he's like, just have a boyfriend, a cute boyfriend. But that's it. Like, he idolizes her as something more because she saw something in him that no one else ever did.
Are you aware that what you like the most is what most people hate the most?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That's awesome.
I'm like, I don't know. Like, I thought I was going down that road with The Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
And then The Last Jedi came out. And I really think they doubled down on all of those things, which is probably why I really like The Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
I personally cannot get past the humor. Like,
Yeah.
If the humor was in a Marvel movie, it would be great. If it was in Family Guy, because it's like straight up Family Guy humor, I'd be laughing my butt off. But it's not in that. It's,
So that's
it's
where
in
you
Star
draw your
Wars.
line.
Yeah, like, the cell phone joke was too, like, now for me, I think. But the thing with the humor that it, like, when Finn wakes up, he hits his head. Then he's got to fall out of bed. And then he's got to walk with water squirting out. Any one of those things would have been fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But all three of those things together really pulled me out of Star Wars. And I remember watching that movie feeling the same way I did when I saw The Phantom Menace. When it opened up, I'm like, okay, we got a really cool, like, bombs, and that was pretty rad. But I'm not in. I can't get in. Like, it's not letting me in because it's just every time I'm almost there, it throws me off with another joke. But then we get going. Then we meet Luke, and then I was hooked ever since. And I think
you're cool with Luke's jokes.
Well, no, I don't like that one either.
Oh, okay, got it.
I'm fine with him throwing the lightsaber.
Yeah.
We've seen him do it before. And George Lucas is always talking about his poetry. He should have just thrown it the exact same way, and it would have been a callback. And it shouldn't have been played for laughs. It should have been like, holy crap. That should have been a gut bomb moment, not a chuckle.
Yeah.
And I think had they done that, I think actually people would have taken him more seriously. Tom is like glazed over.
Holding up my eyes. We've gone down to super fan.
Well, this is so fun because we haven't been able to do this on this before.
No.
Well, I mean, just for the people who don't know, I mean, like the big thing that people don't like about these sequels is they think that Star Wars needs to be in a formula, and these are subverting that formula quite a bit, which is people's biggest complaints.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I'm so stoked about Mandalorian, because it's back in the formula.
And I'm like, because to me, Star Wars isn't about a formula. Look at the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we've grown to appreciate them now because you've gotten old enough to actually like have a voice. But people were mad that they didn't follow. It was too clean. It was too this. It was too that.
Yeah.
But that was the point.
Yeah.
George Lucas has said from the very beginning, a 2-year-old should be able to watch these movies, not understand a single word, and know everything. You look at the prequels, they completely visually look like a different movie. Therefore, we're in a different time.
Or those of us forced to listen to them.
Like we're in a different time period. I think this almost looks too much like the original trilogy, and they should have just made it look very different. Yeah. It would have been more like a George Lucas type of thing. But
yeah, that quote people have been taking too literal recently. Most people, when you throw out who Star Wars is made for or the audience that should enjoy it, a lot of people now are just throwing back, well, then it's made for children then, right? And it's like, well, it's not made specifically just for children. No. I mean, come on.
But it should be accessible by all children. Right. I mean, I'm of that camp, but clearly it's never left me. And I don't watch it just as a child. I don't want to see an R-rated movie of Star Wars. I have zero interest in that. What's that?
No desire.
No. I would like to be able to take my kids to all of them every single time.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I have none. Like I remember with the chapter 1 of The Mandalorian came out, they're like, "Oh, I thought it was gonna be darker than this." My response was, "Why? Has Star Wars ever given us anything darker than this?"
Yeah.
Nope. The darkest moment of Star Wars, at least in this trilogy, should be when Anakin becomes Darth Vader. That's when everything changed. So that's when it should get the darkest and the most dire. Otherwise, if you do something that undercuts that, then you're undercutting like everything that this saga sits on.
Even when it breaks away from the Skywalkers.
No. I think that's, this is, I mean, I don't know how you feel. I've been very overwhelmed. Like, I don't even know if I am totally enjoying the excitement leading up to this, because it's just, I'm really overwhelmed with everything at this moment. And it's all over. Everything that we know is over. But I'm also really happy that it's over. And maybe, if they're smart, they'll do something different. I like this talk lately of like, there's rumors that they're going to another galaxy, and I just kind of like the cords will be cut and we don't have to compare it to anything anymore. Like, I mean, these movies, it's impossible to judge these things on their own. And, I remember Tom was asking me once on this podcast about the sequels. And like I said, I really like them, but I can't hold them to the same thing. One, I've never known a world without the first three. Then The Phantom Menace came out when I was 20. I'm now 40, so it's literally half my life has been these other movies.
Right, yeah.
And these have been around for a few years, so I can't say how they're going to sit. I can't say how they're going to grow with me. So I can't really compare them exactly. But that's what I appreciate about the sequels, is that they're not really trying to compare themselves to the old ones. They're straight up in the movie saying, we can't live up to those things. We can be our own thing, but we can't be what came before us. I think that's part of what Yoda tells Luke there on Octu, and I really have mad props for that. I think took a lot of guts to not put Luke Skywalker in it.
See, that
And we can
concept
believe
is-
those rumors or not, but they didn't put him in the movie. That's a pretty big risk, The Last Jedi killed Luke Skywalker. Well, I don't think he's dead, but
yeah.
that took a big risk. So I don't know.
That concept of, building these other characters because they can't live up to the old characters that you're talking about. I think this is the movie that they go completely cold feet on that idea.
Do you?
Yeah.
I hope not.
Those characters just get pushed aside entirely.
Or our old characters?
No, Rey, Finn, and Poe.
Oh, you think they're going to get pushed aside?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, you're bringing us to okay, this is perfect. What are you thinking going to happen in The Rise of Skywalker? Where do you think the story is going? I don't want to say I think this is going to happen next, because none of us know, but where do you think the story is leading us?
I have too many hopes. I think that they are very honest in saying that this is it for the Skywalker saga.
Okay.
And I think that they will tie a bow however they seem fit to tie a bow on that saga. I think based off of recent articles and interviews that the cast has said, I think the Poe, Finn, and Rey get pushed aside quite a bit, and those characters won't have continuing stories for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that we're going to get almost, this is where I hope. I really do think that we're going to get a lot of things that we've always wanted in this movie, because I think they got cold feet and they decided to listen to fans after Last Jedi, and that's where they're going.
How do you think they're going to get pushed to the side?
I think the story is going to be about, if we're talking about bringing back the Emperor and that character, I think there's a lot that goes along with it. And I'm a bit huge Campbell fan. I love The Matrix and I love mythology in general. And, the one as a character needs to be resurrected. I still believe Anakin is the one. And I think that's where this is where I hope that's the story picks up.
Okay. So you think Anakin's coming, and I remember y'all's talk on The Matrix, and I was full 100% on board.
Yeah.
Because I love all three of those movies.
Nice.
I actually think the second one's probably my favorite.
Nice.
But I love all of them. I think they're great. Like super great. Okay, I think about the rise of Skywalker. And Star Wars always takes its titles pretty literally.
Yeah.
We haven't ever once been given like a metaphorical, like this is what it says, and underneath it's all nope. They're all like Attack of the Clones,
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi. He's the last Jedi, or she is, however you want to read it. I think it'll be Luke that would come back though.
Yeah, I think that
Like-
we're going to get a big moment where we see more than one person come back.
Well, I think I believe Luke's coming back in the flesh, like
yeah.
straight up, not a ghost, straight up.
I agree, but I think that he's going to be...
But you think it's Anakin?
No, I think that we saw that with Yoda, and
Mhm.
that's something that not just Luke is going to learn. I think it's going to be something that we see from a couple of different people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're talking about how like Yoda was pretty much there.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, he wasn't really blue glowy, and he's able to conjure lightning, which is crazy. Like, I don't know why people didn't flip out more about that.
Yeah, no doubt.
So,
That was straight up. What was his name from Rebels? God, the big moose guy. Doctor Who.
I'm really bad with names.
Oh yeah, I'm blanking on his name. But you know what I'm talking about. The dude who was teaching Kanan and turned into like the wind and all that. I was like, they went there
Yeah.
in the film.
Yeah.
I sign me up. I was all on board. That was rad.
Yeah. Bendu, right?
Yeah, the Bendu.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
thank you. The Jedi Bendu. Yeah, that was rad. We've had this conversation about Force ghosts and the stronger you are with the Force, not only the person who is on the other side, but also the person seeing them, the closer they are with the Force, the more real the spirit ghost is. And I think that was another way to say that no, Luke Skywalker is really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And Yoda's like sitting there putting him on the head with the cane because he's so in it
Right.
that of course this is what it looks like. And that's, I don't want, that's my biggest fear in the Rise of Skywalker. I don't want it overly explained. I am not one who thought the midichlorians explained too much. I don't understand that because calling them midichlorians didn't really take away anything to the spirituality of the Force for me.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't explain how they could talk to you. They were just there.
Right. Yeah.
But the talking to them is still like, and I also never felt that the prequels meant that you had to be special to become a Jedi. The Jedi thought that, and that's part of what they were wrong.
Ooh,
you
interesting.
didn't-
So you are on board with anyone can be Force sensitive.
No, not necessarily anyone can be Force sensitive. I think anyone can understand the Force. I think, like what Maz says, she's no Jedi, but she knows the Force. I think when we had the Night Sisters in the Clone Wars really kind of went into that.
Mm-hmm.
And they were clearly like Force users. But no, I think if you believe enough, you can get there. Maybe not to the point of moving rocks and stuff like that, but I do think it's more like intuition. And if you're paying attention, anyone can have that.
Interesting.
I don't think the Jedi wanted to promote that because they were power hungry and wanted only people in their special club.
You don't think that there's the Wills who have control over all of this?
Yes. No, I do. I do. But I think the Wills.
How's Tom doing over there?
I'm looking at Tom like, it's really good. So those are more Clone Wars stuff. That was really good. You get to see Yoda fight Gollum Yoda. But I think I think they would share it. Personally.
Interesting.
I think it's very yeah. But I have I have always viewed the Force and is accessible by all, and the Jedi turned it into a religion and put a door on the front of it, so only certain members could come in if you followed these X amount of rules, and they used it to advance themselves.
You don't think the Jedi was a reaction to the Sith?
I don't.
Interesting.
I think, if anything, the Sith may be in the reaction to the Jedi.
Oh.
Which I would love to see. Like, that would be a trilogy I would love to see.
Yeah.
I don't really think the Jedi are as good as we've all made them out to be, honestly. And I think Clone Wars did a really good job at letting your kids let the Jedi be the hero. And they're not bad,
Yeah.
but they're not good. And maybe because I identified with Ahsoka so much, and that really is the path that she ended up taking. And when Luke Skywalker was like saying all those things that really kind of, for me, echoed what I was just saying, I was like, this dude gets it, dude. This dude gets it. And that's why we see Rey jumping over a TIE fighter in the next one, because she's going to get it. She's not going to have no Jedi school, because she's going to be like, yeah, no. I'll teach you how to take care of yourself and trust yourself, because being a responsible Force user is trusting yourself. Qui-Gon would have been all about that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's up there, hitting some Guinness with Qui-Gon, talking about, trust yourself and trust the Force. Don't trust anyone. I like this whole thing of Yoda, who is probably he's up there though too. Like, I don't know. You ask me on a Tuesday, it'll be Ahsoka. Wednesday, it'll be my favorite character. But Yoda teaches a lot, and I don't even think Yoda, even though he was like the dude, I don't think he followed those things. Truthfully,
Yeah.
I love the idea that somewhere in the extended universe, which I'm not like a massive person who follows that stuff, I'm always aware of it and I will look it up, kind of thing. Some of the comics I've read, I'm a really big comic book guy myself. But the idea that he kind of hid his species off because he wanted them out of it, I kind of like. And speaks to him as a total caregiver, but also speaks to the arrogance that I think the Jedi thought they were better than everybody else. They put themselves up in their ivory tower and got a god complex, literally, and did the right thing with it, but they're also above that. Like, Obi-Wan is straight up 1000% Jedi, and Obi-Wan Kenobi is a really arrogant person. Obi-Wan Kenobi is really the one that made us think that originally the Tusken Raiders were, bad. And I love what the Mandalorian did in that episode of like, they were here first. We're kind of the bad guys here. So I think I have very unpopular feelings about Star Wars.
Are you on the everything's Yoda's fault?
No.
Ooh, interesting.
I'm not. I'm on the Yoda thinks it's all his fault. And again, it is arrogance that thinks he is so self-absorbed that he thinks it's all his fault.
What about this new book that came out? Have you seen that?
Which one?
I forgot what it's called, but it's with a younger Dooku and a Jedi who is dedicated to
Jedi
finding
Lost, right?
Sith artifacts.
Okay.
And that Jedi's like, "Hey, Yoda, the Sith are coming," and he's like, "Don't worry about it."
Okay. And this was, because that took place, oh God, like 10, 15 years before The Phantom Menace, right?
Yeah, that's like my dream era of Star Wars. That's all I want to see is that era.
Yeah, I would love that as well. I don't want to go too far back. When the rumorville of Game of Thrones people coming were 1,000 years before, I'm like, I'm not interested. Maybe someday, but I'm not, no. Like, I'm good. There's a lot to explore. Dude, I could have another story in the prequel era. I think it's so amazing.
Give me Anakin when he's 14. Give me that.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
I also, quite honestly, would love. And I was never one when Rogue One came out that they all had to die. I'm like, why? It's a big world. I think it would be really interesting to have a trilogy that takes place the exact same time as the original trilogy, just somewhere else. Like, I think that would be rad. Like, I don't know, like another Kanan Jarrus running around.
Yeah.
Who's heard all this stuff is going on, like, can't really get involved, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Which would help make Luke look cooler and less weak if he was still willing to, like, jump out there. But, yeah. I don't know. I don't think they'll go down this road. I'm, like, sure they won't. This will go down. I hope they would land. And I don't remember the exact moment in Last Jedi, but I was like, holy cow, are they going down the Mortis trilogy?
Oh, yeah.
And is Luke the father? And now Kylo and Rey are this? Like, that would be... And then, of course, they teased it with the Mortis dagger that then we got a better look at. Okay, it's probably not.
Yeah.
But it was still cool to, like spoon feeding you some of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I love how I asked you how it was going to go, and I'm like, I don't really know where it's going to go. I really don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah, me neither. I'm trying to not have the biggest expectations right now, which is why I've stayed away from a lot of trailers and teasers and stuff.
Like, I think, again, it's always in the execution. You can never say, I'm going to be disappointed if they do this or don't do that, because you never know, you know. But I do think I will feel let down if they go down what you thought and placate.
Well, you've seen what the actors have said about them coming back as the characters, right?
Yeah.
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 That's the stuff that kind of bums me out, because I'm just like, did you guys have that bad of a time making these?
Well, that's more the weird marketing. Like, now they're allowing the actors to do nothing but slam The Last Jedi. Like,
know,
it's really
right?
weird. No. And then, like, the other day, like, right before I left Twitter, The Last Jedi was one of the top trending things again. I'm like, oh, God, really?
Stop.
Like,
people just get over it at this point. It's so annoying when people just dig into it more.
Yeah. Like, okay, you didn't like it. I love that you're passionate enough about it to still talk about it 2 years later. But also, you're talking about it 2 years later, so it must have done something for you. To me, I think The Last Jedi, albeit minus the Family Guy jokes, which I didn't like that stuff in the prequels either. It's not my thing. But I think it surpassed and became something bigger. And we don't talk about movies like this anymore. We're in such a flash drive, flash mob, however you want to put it, culture right now with film. In pop culture land anyways, like big summer blockbusters aren't treated this way anymore. They're so disposable. You know, it comes to DVD 2 weeks after it left the theater and we're done.
Yeah.
But The Last Jedi did something and we're still talking about it. And I think regardless if you like it or not, I really wish people go, you know what? But I'm still talking about it. So it must have done something right that I haven't forgotten. You know? I don't know.
Yeah.
And so I hope the Rise of Skywalker delivers on that.
Yeah.
And it isn't going to become... I don't know how I come across on this podcast, but I always bring up the Marvel movies because they're the new, like, that's what everything lives up to.
Yeah.
And they're fun.
They're just fun.
But I don't think we'll be talking about Infinity War for 40 years from now.
Oh, you're crazy, man.
We'll be talking about the MCU in general and how it completely changed filmmaking.
Oh, no. There's stuff especially in Endgame, but there's stuff in Infinity War, too, that will be brought up in movies 5 years from now.
You think? Okay.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I need to watch Endgame again. I only saw it once.
I could spend a long time about Endgame. A long time.
Okay. Well, I want to hear. You guys didn't do a podcast on that though either, did you?
No, we did a draft we did an MCU draft making our own movie for what we
Okay.
want the franchise to do next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like I'm a pretty comic book nerd too.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I've never been the guy who knows a lot about a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like all in on X-Men.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
that's my jam. There's Star Wars, G.I. Joe is probably like my second favorite like franchise type thing. Avatar and X-Men.
nice.
Those are my like that's my jam. All those things.
Yeah.
Uh
I was actually not really
Last
on
Airbender
board.
Avatar, not James Cameron Blue.
Yeah.
Avatar.
I was not really on board with a lot of the MCU up until I'm trying to think of. It's probably Guardians, the first one. But I was the person that was like saying during the beginning of the MCU, like, "Hey, we've got Star Wars. It's better than this." But then MCU has kind of turned me around in the last like 4 years now. So
I want to. I want to love them like other people do.
yeah,
Really do. And they're great. They're really good. For me, I'm just like, okay. That's cool. Maybe when they take the X-Men over, I'll be like, oh, because Lord knows those were not good.
oh no, they're all bad.
Yeah, there's not a single good one.
Yeah,
No one understood. Well, Logan was maybe the closest,
it's good.
but that still wasn't really that good either compared to the others. Sure, it was great, but
Yeah.
it still wasn't that great either.
yeah.
All right, dude. Thomas, anything else?
I got nothing. Nothing.
This is
I've
the
enjoyed
quietest
the,
you have ever been.
conversation. Yeah.
What about you, Michael? Anything else?
I'm thinking that Star Wars in general is going to be taking a huge path in the next year, and I'm very excited to see where it goes. I think we spent enough time doing this one thing, and I'm ready to see other things.
Yep. Yeah, we moved Star Wars Celebration, right? It was added almost last minute
Yeah.
to next year, which is going to be really awesome. I'm hoping that it was like, we need to put a period at the end of this.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really thankful for The Mandalorian because I think it's brought an excitement back to Star Wars that the response to The Last Jedi took away.
Yeah.
And so I feel like there's more optimism going into The Rise of Skywalker than there would have been had Mandalorian not happened.
Yeah.
So that I'm very appreciative for.
Can I ask, is there any one thing in Star Wars that you point people towards as far as they want to know the franchise better?
Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Every single time. I loved the prequels beforehand. I've never really, I think, because Clone Wars is a big ask for people to get into because that's a big pill to swallow.
Yeah, for sure.
But I've pointed them to, quite honestly, The Return of Darth Maul because I thought that was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard of when I found out that was happening. And then it turned into this like amazing, like, he's so good.
Yeah.
Like it's so good.
Well, it's the most hours on Star Wars, like
Yeah.
It's the most time spent on it. Go watch the thing that spends the most time with it.
Yeah. And then I think I would love to turn people to that last Ahsoka arc,
Yeah.
but that doesn't work if you don't see everything. Not the same way.
Mm-hmm.
But Clone Wars, for sure, because I remember telling people I'm not one who thinks that animation is somehow less than. Like, I don't... It's just as real to me as, like, a live-action thing.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because I've read so many comics when I was a kid. I'm used to different artists drawing a character differently every single time, which I think you touched on this, something similar to this earlier.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's cool. I'm used to it. I understand that language.
Yeah.
But I would tell people, I know it's quote unquote a cartoon, but give it a chance. And I'm one who's like, if you can, watch all of them. Give the first season a pass. I think there's a lot there that doesn't seem like it's going to pay off until later. But I think, and it might be sacrilegious to say, but I think the last 3 seasons of the Clone Wars are probably the best Star Wars we've ever had.
Nice.
And those wouldn't be there without all the other things to build into it.
Right.
But as a complete and total lifelong fan, I think Clone Wars, more than anything, changed how I look at all of Star Wars. And mostly through Ahsoka. Because I think that character chose a path that we had never seen before.
Sounds like I need to watch them.
You do? You've seen some of them.
No, I have, but from the get-go.
Yeah.
I think I saw the first few.
We saw the movie, which you didn't remember. So,
Exactly.
we know that
One
first movie
ear and
played.
out the other.
Yeah, I remember I brought a date to that movie when it came out. It was not the best decision on my part, but
Worked for me.
yeah.
Oh, no. What about you?
For just like pure Star Wars, I mean, like I said, Clone Wars it has the most hours spent with Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting about The Mandalorian is that it has the most love for Star Wars that I've seen. So it's going to be interesting how that show continues to play out, because it has a lot of love and respect for the characters and for the universe itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not pandering to me. So maybe that might take it over eventually. Depends on how long the show goes and how long it's able to keep up. But yeah.
I'll give you, I can see it. The way this first season is shaping out feels like the most comparison I can say is the first season of Rebels,
Yeah, I can see that.
which on the surface felt like there was a lot of like quote unquote filler, which I don't particularly like that term, but I know we all know what we mean when we say filler.
Right.
But there was stuff that paid dividends years later that you're like, oh. And that's why I'm so excited for Dave Filoni, because that dude, I don't think any of that's done by accident.
Yeah.
I think that dude's like a mad genius and knows exactly what he's doing. Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for The Mandalorian, which is funny because I'm 100% with you of not being the Mando fando forever.
No.
How many episodes do we have left?
2.
Oh, okay.
2.
2.
Yeah. Big
And then-
things are going to happen.
I've got lots of theories going on about about that. Oh, and actually, because I don't think I touched on this. Tom, you're yawning over there.
Yeah, super fans, I'm going to check out. Hey, Michael, thank you so much for joining us on this.
Hey,
But I'm checking out. I'm good.
I really appreciate you hanging in there with him. I think
Hey,
it's-
I've
It's
been holding up
honorable.
my eyes with two.
I'm going to go wipe the blood and go to bed.
Thank you so much, and I look forward to meeting with you one day. Okay?
yeah, for sure.
So those of us forced to listen to them,
This
I'm
is when we
checking
check out. Thank you, Pop-Pop.
thank you.
So, oh gosh. Are you all right on time?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So, I think it's Cad Bane at the end.
If it is,
I
everyone's going to freak out. Like if that's
I think the Cad Bane is cool enough that even non-super fans will be like, holy crap, this dude's amazing.
yeah.
He looks cool. So even if he's only in it for a half second, like, whoa. Because I think that's who the gunslinger is. Whoever walked up is the gunslinger. I think it was interesting that they went back to Tatooine. Not that Cad Bane that we know of ever, that I can remember anyways, ever had anything to do with Tatooine.
Well, he did
But-
work for the Hutts.
He did. Yeah. But also, and I forget what his alien race is called. I don't remember. I'm not good with that stuff. I've never been that dude.
Yeah.
Well, maybe when I was 20, I was, but not anymore. But we saw those aliens in that particular cantina for the very first time.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
You know, you see the two of them talking in their little in their astronaut suits in A New Hope. No, not in that episode, but in A New Hope.
Yeah. I know what you're talking
So I'm
about.
like, oh, me, just like that's a Dave clue.
Yeah.
Hey guys, you know why I put that canteen in there, right?
Did you put your cowboy hat on for that?
Yes. Did you see my shirt?
Yeah. Man, Pokey
But,
or my Sean and Pokey on I'm Right You're Wrong, they were so bummed out when I was like, it's so cool that he called it a puck because he loves hockey so much.
Yes.
they were just like, ugh, that's gross.
I read that. I don't know anything about sports. I'm like, but I read that and I was like, oh, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And that's totally him. But I think that there's more than just we need a breather reason. That there's next week's episode is on Wednesday, and then it comes back after. And
So-
not that I think they're going to go down the road of you see the Mandalorian to understand the Rise of Skywalker, but I think the Mandalorian might give extra seasoning to the Rise of Skywalker.
Do you think it's Baby Yoda?
I don't know. I'm kind of leaning that he's a clone of Yoda.
Yep, I'm right
I
there.
don't know if I want that necessarily. And again,
bring
I can
the
say I
clones.
don't want that, and then it's written. I'm like, oh god, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. But I've since the minute we met Baby Yoda, which was like one amazing shock, holy crap, that's awesome
Yeah.
moment. I was like, oh my god, Cad Bane's coming in this episode. And Tom's like, what? Who's that? Blah blah all of it, right? I was like, no. In season 1 of Clone Wars, he was stealing babies, say Force sensitive babies for Palpatine. And we never really totally got why, right? He wanted
No.
to train them
Yeah.
to serve him. It was probably like pre-Inquisitor work. And I'm like, well, we've had one gunslinger already stealing Force sensitive babies in Star Wars before. And it seems strange we met another Force baby right before we're about to see the Emperor come back. And there's no way it's just like a hologram or something like that.
No. Have you heard my? You probably haven't, but I have a weird Emperor Plagueis theory.
Oh, let's
that-
go. We were probably running off the other non-super fans by now, but
Well, it's just that the Emperor is Plagueis.
okay.
And that's more manipulation towards Anakin. And that we are going to find out that possibly that like Palpatine, that person that we meet during the prequels is another clone. And that we have this Plagueis character or the original Sidious, who's kind of this old, decrepit, barely hanging on to life, who has made multiple clones of himself.
Okay.
And that, the story that he tells Anakin is just more manipulation on his part, and that he's Plagueis and he never had an apprentice that killed him. Yeah, that's my weird Plagueis theory.
Like, you could follow me, and I know you don't really think what I do is right, and I know you really don't want to be evil. So I'll teach you how to do this, and then you can kill me and be good again.
Exactly.
Huh. I like it.
Yeah, I would be, because I like that he's just the master of all lies. I just love that as like a possibility for that character.
Uh-huh.
And I think that there's levels of deception that I'm very curious about with Rise of Skywalker that we're going to find more about. And I love the idea that he's just the guy who's impossible to kill. I just love that.
So do you think he lived?
I think that he killed a clone.
So you think we're going to get an Emperor clone?
I think we've seen Emperor clones, and the real Emperor Plagueis we have yet to see.
Huh. Which would be cool.
It'd be
Play up
very
the
cool.
fact that the actor's now, 20 years older than last time we saw him.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. That's which is another reason why if I'm correct, which I don't really know if I am, but if I am correct, the clone emperor that we do see, the reason why his real self comes to be in Revenge of the Sith, as far as his appearance, is because that's part of like the clone body breaking down, which is why you see Sidious all
okay.
wrinkled and messed up all of a sudden.
Yeah, I've never known what to think. Was that really what he really looked like, and is using the dark side to like manufacture a more relatable person so he could get more power, which doesn't make sense in a world of aliens. So why would you not trust someone who had a wrinkle face?
Yeah, that's a good point.
But then it goes back to, well, like, to go to the World War II references that are always kind of there. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to become everything that I hate because I'm so self-loathing, which is very,
Yeah.
like, there's no aliens in the Empire. Not really.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like them.
Right.
And I kind of like the fact that the Emperor is actually an alien,
Yeah, that's.
but he
that
got
was,
the power.
that was one of my theories as to why he appears humanoid is because of the subtlety of racism that's in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've always. That's what I've thought. Which, yeah, there's
Yeah.
probably racism in the Senate, right?
Oh, yeah, I would imagine. I'm sure they actually discussed it in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, they treat the Gungans like that.
Yeah, basically.
They talk funny and are a little bumbly.
Yeah, and there's Viceroy. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Well, in universe racism. The Gungans for sure. I think the Jawas were. Yeah. We saw some prejudice towards the Jawas. We saw prejudice towards the Tusken Raiders.
Yeah.
But that's also through the lens of 2020, not 1977. So, yeah, interesting. Bendemption is happening.
What's that?
Bendemption.
Ooh, yes.
Do you want it to happen?
Yes. I
Good.
do.
Me too.
Mostly because I love Adam Driver.
I think that Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, is probably the most complex character we've ever had in Star Wars.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
In 2 movies.
Yeah.
I mean, Palpatine is really layered. But we've now had possibly 9 movies with him in it.
Yeah.
If he's really the puppet master behind Snoke and all those kinds of things, which could be real in this, and so he may not have technically been in the movie, but he was, moving all the pieces around.
Yeah.
But, and actually I did it's not a real theory, but I'm like, who are the Sith troopers? And what if the Sith troopers are a bunch of babies that he stole? And Force sensitive stormtroopers
Ooh,
to help
that's
protect
interesting.
him. But I kind of I think back to the World Between Worlds episode in Rebels,
Yeah.
which quite frankly, I'm not sure I'm still smart enough to totally understand how it works
No one is.
because it's really bonkers.
Yeah.
And I don't think that would work in episode 9 of this trilogy. Do I think Star Wars can go there? 1,000%. It already did, obviously. But we can't throw that in now. We can't really throw Mortis in now in this. That just, it's
Too
not going to
much.
work.
Yeah.
As much as I would love all those things. But I think about the hocus pocus cauldron that he was doing. And I just think of hocus pocus cloning.
Mm-hmm.
Of he'd been collecting kids for a long time in case something like this happened. And because he needed the metachlorians, I don't know, something to do with his return using baby juice,
Yeah.
which is really evil and creepy and could be really cool. Yeah. And that's been my thing. You don't have to see The Mandalorian to get that. They'll explain it in the movie if that's what happens.
Yeah.
But seeing one of the kids that we just saw sacrificed to make Palpatine would be you know what I mean? You'll feel a lot more sympathy for those nameless kids that we saw somewhere in episode 9.
Yeah.
That's my guess. And then I think what Snoke said in episode 8 when he's darkness rises and light to meet it, I think Luke Skywalker will turn out to be the most powerful Jedi ever. And when the Emperor rises, I think Luke will somehow be manifested back in order to meet that level of evil with that much good.
So you think
And
Luke is the one?
like, what's that?
You think Luke is the one?
I do.
Interesting.
And didn't Obi-Wan say that in Rebels?
Yeah, I don't know if I prescribe to it.
Even though my son noticed something, and I have to watch that episode because I haven't watched it in a hot minute. But my oldest is not a super fan until The Mandalorian came out, and all of a sudden he like went through all of Rebels. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to be a cool dad and pretend like I don't really care because I want you to continue to watch Star Wars because inside like Giddy is all joy is he's all into it.
Yeah.
But we had met Leia in I think the first season of Rebels.
Yeah.
And then we saw Luke's shadow, basically, his silhouette running. And didn't he look younger?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, I have to watch it, but I'm like, wait. When I replay that scene in my head, he was like a 5 or 6 year old kid. And I wasn't watching it with the, well, time period here is, like, I don't watch Star Wars like that. You know, it takes 2 or 3 watches, and I want, like, let me put it this way. I don't enjoy watching it that way.
Right.
So I have to go put on that hat if I want to start dissecting, which is fun too. But most of the time, I'm like, I just want to like go on the emotional ride. Because again, that's what Star Wars is for me. That's why I don't like Star Trek. Star Trek is like devoid of emotion and it's all technical. I'm like, snooze fest. Like, give me some fist bumps and some tears. Anyways, that's my theory that I think will come into play. And I think, I don't know. I don't really know who Rey is. I don't have any idea. And I don't know if I should not like that because we're 2 movies in now.
I just
But
want
what's that?
I want her something that was created by the Wills. That's what I want. I really like midichlorians. I like the Wills.
Dude, 1,000%.
Yeah.
That was another thing when the prequels came out. All of the nasty, racist remarks about Jar Jar Binks. Never once did that cross my mind watching it.
Yeah.
But what did cross my mind was, oh my God, George Lucas just called baby Jesus Darth Vader. This is going to piss so many people off.
Right.
And it's gone nowhere.
Yeah.
To this day, I'm like, the dude, we have the Jedi, which is the most religious thing we have in all of Star Wars, and he pretty much says they're evil. He calls baby Jesus the devil. And I'm like, and none of this goes, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. I live for it.
Yeah.
But I've thought that from the very beginning. I'm like, I don't want her to be related to anybody. I want her to be born from the Force.
Yeah.
It's fucking cool. And I think it'd be pretty crazy if we find out that Palpatine is also Ben Solo's father. And we thought it was Han Solo. And he's like, yeah, no. I know you thought it was Han, but actually it was me. I did this once, and you're closer to Darth Vader than you thought. But I've also pondered that Rey was born of the Force, but created by both Darth Vader and Anakin. Because I like the idea that they're still struggling in the afterlife of the choices they made.
Interesting.
And which is the more powerful person? Is it Anakin or is it Darth Vader? Because, you know, you made the right move at the end, but you did a lot of terrible things before you got there.
Yeah.
And that's why she has such a struggle, and that's why she can walk the line. And when they put her in gray in The Last Jedi, I was like, oh God, there it is.
Yeah.
She's like literally the color of their struggle. And, you know, now they just need to give her a purple lightsaber and we'll be good to go. But
Right.
like, I've wondered that because I think for Kylo Ren's character to have his biggest enemy be born of his biggest hero would be a really interesting story. And she's like, you know, when she's like, you're afraid you'll never be as strong as Darth Vader. Well, dude, I will be.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. I think that'd be really pretty rad, you know?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, but I've never really felt romantic vibes from them either. I feel a connection.
Yeah, connection for sure.
Like, but I didn't get those vibes, and I've tried looking for them because I kind of love how passionate people like Raylos get. Like, I love their passion for it. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't see it. And if it happens, that's fine. But I don't really want her to have anybody either. Like, just because she's a girl, she doesn't need a boyfriend. We never pined for Luke Skywalker to have a girlfriend.
Yeah, right.
She doesn't need one. Now, Pin and Foe, Pin and there we are. I can't even say it right. Pin, Foe, and I can't do it. Finn and Poe, they need to be together. They won't, but they need to. Yeah, I don't know, but that's. I agree. Rey is a quote unquote nobody, as he said, but it's because she's born of the Force.
Yeah, for sure.
I just
and her
like
parents still could have been like, they don't have to be her biological parents. You know what I mean?
I mean, even if she gave birth, it was like just like Shmi was a nobody.
Right.
I mean, quite frankly, she was nobody. She's just a lady.
Yeah.
And one day I was pregnant.
Yeah, that's the real
and
story.
then I had him.
The story of Shmi is the story that we need in life.
Yeah, that would be a great Disney Plus series.
Yeah.
Actually. And I think young Owen and Beru raising Luke could be really cool.
Yeah. You feel so
Like
bad for him.
I hope we get them in Obi-Wan. I mean, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
You're like, oh.
You feel so bad for Luke, especially when you're watching Revenge and you're like, wait, Leia's going where? This is where he gets to go.
You get this big, beautiful, like, you get to live in the Alps?
Yeah.
Really? 100%. 100%. Yeah. I love that thing. Did you read that book, The Certain of You?
No.
Okay. There was one of the stories in that Yoda didn't agree with Obi-Wan, and Yoda wanted to train Leia because he thought she was the more powerful one.
Right.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's a really cool, like, to go back to Marvel Comics, that'd be a cool what if.
Yeah.
It'd be really rad, actually. And I guess we got a minute of it with Flying Statue Liberty, Leia. Which I had another moment in that movie. I was like, oh my God, this is so, like, I was so happy.
Yeah, it's cool.
And then I left the theater. I'm like, wait, people had a problem with this?
I know, seriously.
Like, it was really? It was like so emotional.
This
Again,
is
not what we wanted.
Yeah, this is the frustrating thing with the internet, because like I honestly did not know that people had a problem with the prequels until I was 17.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, after Revenge of the Sith had came out is when I started talking to people more and being like, wait, you have a problem with these movies? Because I didn't spend time on the internet all day long, like reading a bunch of stuff or like diving into other people's theories. Like I just liked the movies and I liked what I saw, you know? And it really was, Sean was one of the first people that I met that he's like, those movies are garbage.
Dude, I'll go to bat for those things any day of the week. They're so good. Like, they are so good.
Yeah.
I think story pacing wise, I think they're amazing. Like all of it. It's so complicated.
So complicated.
And I will fight for where the stilted dialogue. You may not like it, but I think that was the intent. And I think you look at the original trilogy and you watch it and think he was emulating movies from the 50s and the 60s. And that's kind of how they feel.
Yeah.
Well, if you go back 20 years before, you get 30s or 40s. And if you watch those films, they kind of talk like that.
Yeah.
And I think he was like, oh, they're kind of shot that way. A lot of the composition and all those things and the costume choices, they live in that time period of a movie.
Yeah.
And so to me, it works.
Yeah.
Like,
I always just tell people, like, I'm a big music fan, and from
Okay.
the prequels, we got Across the Stars and Duel of the Fates, which are like that. Those are my two favorite Star Wars themes.
Okay.
I love Across the Stars. It's beautiful, and just like the fact that we got those two things out of those movies, like leave them alone.
yeah. Oh, I don't know. We get Palpatine out of that movie,
Yeah, that's my favorite.
and I don't care. No one. Well, the thing I crack up about, I listen to a lot of, and like all the arguments you use to rip on the prequels, we never had that information until the prequels came out.
Right.
Like, Palpatine was not cool.
Yeah.
Not really. He was the Emperor. He was some old dude. And yeah, you're like, oh, crap, this old Brazen must be really powerful because he just, like, all of a sudden, like, one-up Darth Vader.
Yeah.
But that was kind of it.
Well, it was awesome for me too, being 10 when Phantom Menace came out, because it wasn't until Attack of the Clones that I was starting to understand who Palpatine was, because I was young. Like, I wasn't paying attention to things. Like, my parents and a lot of my friends, they weren't as much into Star Wars as I was. And, you know, I just loved the movie, but like, I wasn't trying to put together these pieces of like, who is this character? And people who were older, unfortunately, they were just like, yeah, he's the Emperor. So a lot of the magic gets taken out of it for them.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. But it's also could be, I don't know. It's exciting seeing how it's all going to come together. You're like, is that really?
Yeah.
No, that's the Emperor, people. That's the bad dude. But, you know, like, my kids love the prequels. They're like them the best.
Nice. That's awesome.
So I like, you know, like, look, at the end of the day, I like the original trilogy the best, but that's what I grew up with.
Right.
And so, like, if I just look at it from my heart only, those will always be the things that I love the most because that's what made me a fan. But when I don't know. I think the prequels enriched the original trilogy so much that I have a hard time not giving them like a whole lot of weight. And that's what I'm hoping the sequels do. I'm hoping in 10 years from now I can look back and go, they made me look at all of them differently. But for me anyways, I'm too close to it right now to be able to like look back on it that way. And I don't know. I guess like when the Force Awakens came out, I don't think I left thinking I wish I saw the original people together.
Yeah.
I didn't really miss them, which is crazy because those are my heroes. And I was like, oh, I didn't really miss them. Like, that was pretty incredible film if I didn't really miss them.
Yeah,
I did something right.
I was all in on Rey and Force Awakens. I loved her introduction there.
Yeah, it's interesting because you hear about the arguments that every time Luke was on the screen, he stole all the light away.
Yeah.
You know, and that was part of the reason they couldn't put him in it that much.
Right.
And Rey really was a super amazing character in The Force Awakens. And The Last Jedi came out, and she seemed so weak.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, could that be because she's Luke? And could it have been like, that's an interesting story, you know? And if she's really super like tough again, you could look at The Last Jedi and go, yeah, she needed to be away from them because maybe these people should trust themselves and not let someone else clout their destiny.
Yeah.
Somebody else shouldn't lay your path down in front of you. And had she stayed with Luke, that's what would have happened. She would have become, yeah. Anyways, I could go on and on. I think we're pushing like 2 hours now.
Yeah, for sure.
So thank you very, very much. Hopefully, if we do another one, which I think the plan is, right? To do I'm Right, You're Wrong.
Yeah, we're going to plan for that after
Post?
Skywalker.
Which will be very exciting.
Yeah.
You should tell Sean and Pokey. It might be a 2-hour one. Take a nap because we lost one of our trio on the Pink Milk show.
Yeah.
Someone bounced. Oh, and I think I'm going to be trapped at Sean's house. So I don't think he can bounce. All right, dude. Well, hey, thank you very, very much. You want to plug your stuff?
Oh, yeah. Check out our podcasts. We've got Comic Jerks and I'm Right, You're Wrong. Find it anywhere you can get podcasts. And yeah, if you like people who like to argue a lot, that's what that podcasts are.
I will tell you, as a listener of your podcast, I get in trouble all the time from Tom for going too far, and y'all go farther.
Oh,
which I
yeah.
love.
We wish that we could go farther, but some people in our group won't allow us. So
It was so good. I was in a drive-through, and I don't remember which podcast it was, but when Sean was going on his daddy kick,
oh yeah.
I was like, "This is really uncomfortable." I'll take my burger, thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe I should hit the pause button.
Yeah.
Oh no, but y'all shows, like, honestly, it's really, really great. And like I said, I think the first ones I listened to of your show was The Matrix, because I'm a gigantic Matrix fan,
Nice.
and your show showed me another way to look at it, and it was really awesome.
Oh, cool.
And I appreciated it very, very much. So thank you for coming on. I like it, and I appreciate it. I look forward to going on to your show.
Nice.
Post the thing, and we can have I'll have to listen to this again and remember the things we talked about to see who was right and who was wrong.
Yeah. I'm probably super wrong, but that's okay.
But that's all right. What do they say on I don't know if you listen to Force Center, but speculate responsibly. And
Oh,
half
yeah.
of being a Star Wars fan, or probably a fan of anything, is to speculate and have fun doing.
Yeah.
And just don't walk into the movie theater. Let it go. Talk all you want, and then let it go, and let what comes in, and then enjoy what you got. Not be upset about what you didn't. That's how I try to be, anyways. But thanks for listening. You can follow us at pinkmilk.site and Pink Milk House at Twitter and Instagram, and listen to us wherever. So thank you very much. We'll talk to you later. Thanks, Michael.
Thanks.
Bye.